You keep asking why she won't follow your lead, why she challenges everything you say, why she resists you at every turn. But the truth is, she's not resisting you, she's resisting the man you're pretending to be. Let's talk about it. Step 1. She won't submit to dominance, she'll submit to direction. There's a difference between leading and controlling, but most men confuse the two. Dominance is loud, forceful, and insecure. It tries to overpower her into compliance. It demands obedience out of fear or pressure, not respect. And the truth is, no woman with self-worth will submit to that. She may silence herself temporarily, but inside she's withdrawing. She's calculating her exit. Dominance repels her spirit. It suffocates a part of her that wants to. Because when a man tries to dominate her, he's not seeing her as an equal. He's seeing her as something to conquer. But direction? That's different. Direction is rooted in clarity, vision, and calm authority. It doesn't have to raise its voice. A woman naturally leans into a man who knows where he's going, not just in life, but in the moment, in conflict, in his emotions. When she senses that you're grounded, she relaxes. Her guard drops because now she doesn't feel like she's surrendering control. She feels like she's aligning with leadership. Direction is magnetic because it offers structure without stealing freedom. It invites her in rather than forcing her down. She won't follow a man who tries to dominate her mind, but she will follow a man who gives her mind something to trust. Step 2. Emotional safety comes before submission. You can be everything on paper, attractive, successful, well-spoken, but if she doesn't feel safe around you emotionally, she will never fully give herself to you. Submission isn't just physical or practical, it's deeply emotional and psychological. It requires her to lower her guard, to soften, to let go of control in a world that constantly demands she hold it together. And she can't do that with someone who makes her question her worth, her feelings, or her stability. When a woman senses that her vulnerability might be used against her, she pulls back, not because she's closed off, but because she's in survival mode. You can't expect her to surrender her softness if she's bracing for emotional impact every time she speaks. Emotional safety is built through consistency, through how you react when she's not at her best, through the space you create for her truth, even when it's messy, even when it challenges you. She watches how you handle her silence, her frustration, her sadness. Do you dismiss it? Do you shame it? Do you try to fix it just to make yourself more comfortable? Or do you hold space without judgment? Without ego? That's where safety is created. It's in the small moments. How you respond to her honesty, how you handle conflict, whether she feels like her heart is protected or exposed. Without emotional safety, submission feels like self-betrayal. No matter how much she loves you, her instinct for self-preservation will always be louder than her desire to follow. Because to submit, she has to feel that who she is safe in your presence. Not explicit to. Step 3, submission is a response, not a requirement. It's not something you can demand, command, or negotiate your way into. Real feminine submission is not transactional, it's instinctual. It flows when she feels something in you that awakens it. And that something isn't dominance or pressure, it's presence, integrity. A man who truly understands this doesn't chase submission like a prize to win. He cultivates the kind of environment where it naturally unfolds. He doesn't ask, why won't you submit to me? He asks, what am I showing her that's worth surrendering to? A woman doesn't submit because she's told to. She submits when her soul recognizes safety, stability, and certainty in yours. Not perfection, but presence. That's why submission can't be forced. When it is, it turns into compliance, and compliance is lifeless. It's performative. She may go through the motions, but her heart stays hidden. She might cook for you, sleep with you, agree with you, but it won't be rooted in trust. It'll be rooted in survival, in fear, in emotional exhaustion. True submission is a response to the kind of man who doesn't need to control her because he's already in control of himself. A man who doesn't try to overpower her but invites her into something stronger than her independence, partnership. When a woman meets a man whose energy makes her feel held, not handled, seen, not scrutinized, her submission isn't a duty, it's a desire. It's a reaction to feeling emotionally nourished, spiritually aligned, and fully accepted. Submission, in its purest form, is a gift. And gifts are never given under pressure. They're given in response to what's already been received. Step 4, your discipline creates her devotion. It's not your charm, your money, or your ambition that makes a woman truly devote herself to you. It's your consistency, your ability to lead yourself, especially when no one's watching. Discipline shows her who you really are, beyond the performance. It's how you show up for your own life that tells her how you'll show up for hers. You can't expect her to trust your leadership if you can't even follow through on your own word. If you say one thing and do another, if you promise growth but stay in cycles, she sees that. And even if she doesn't say it, she stores it, not out of judgment, but out of protection. Because how can she give her heart fully to a man who doesn't even respect his own? When a man is disciplined, it brings her peace. It means she doesn't have to carry the weight of both energies. It means she can rest in her feminine because she's not forced to constantly overfunction to compensate for your instability. She watches how you handle your goals, how you manage pressure, how you respond to setbacks, not because she's checking a scoreboard, but because she's reading your foundation. And the stronger your foundation is, the more grounded she feels in your presence. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency with purpose. It's about being able to tell her, I've got this, and mean it. Not just with words, but with actions she can measure over time. It's the way you wake up and pursue something bigger than yourself. It's the way you hold boundaries, keep commitments, and move with intention, even when no one is applauding you. That kind of self-leadership makes her lean in, not because you asked her to, but because she finally sees someone who can hold her without losing himself. Devotion grows where she feels secure, not just emotionally, but energetically. And nothing communicates security more than a man whose life is rooted in structure, focus, and self-control. Step 5, she watches how you handle yourself, not how you handle her. Before she gives you access to the deepest parts of who she is, she studies how you carry yourself in moments that have nothing to do with her. How do you respond when life doesn't go your way? How do you manage stress, failure, temptation, anger? Not the version of you that shows up on a date, dressed well and saying all the right things, but the version that surfaces when no one's catering to your ego. She's not impressed by how well you can perform masculinity. She's looking for the man you are when the mask is off. Because the truth is, the way you lead yourself is the way you'll eventually lead her. You can't ask a woman to trust you if you can't regulate your emotions, make clear decisions, or stand on principle when it's inconvenient. If you collapse under pressure, project your insecurities, or constantly blame your past, she won't feel safe in your presence. And safety for her isn't about how tightly you hold her, it's about how firmly you hold yourself. She needs to see that you're not reactive, that you don't run from discomfort or try to manipulate your way around accountability. That's what earns her trust. Not your promises, but your patterns. A woman can tell when a man has done the internal work. She can sense it in your silence, in your patience, in your posture, when she pushes against you emotionally, just to see if you'll stand firm or fold. She's not testing you to be cruel. She's testing to see what you're rooted in. Because if you can't hold your own center, you can't hold hers. She watches your habits, your discipline, your relationships, your values, not to judge you, but to understand the energy she would be stepping into. Because at the end of the day, she's not looking for someone to handle her. She's looking for someone so grounded in who he is that she doesn't need to be handled. She just needs to be met. Step 6, you must make her feel seen, not just desired. Desire is easy. Any man can offer that. A glance, a compliment, a moment of attention fueled by attraction. It's fleeting, surface level, and often self-serving. But being seen, that's rare. Being seen means you look past the image she presents to the world and recognize what's behind it, the fears she hides, the softness she guards, the brilliance she doesn't always show. It means noticing the way her voice shifts when she's not okay, catching the quiet pauses between her words, remembering the things she says in passing because they matter even when they're not emphasized. When a woman feels truly seen, she doesn't just feel appreciated, she feels safe. She feels like she can exhale in your presence without needing to perform or prove anything. So many men pursue women like they're chasing a possession, a prize, a reflection of status. They know how to admire her beauty, obsess over her body, romanticize her image, but they don't take the time to understand her interior world, and she can feel the difference. She knows when she's being watched versus when she's being witnessed. One makes her feel used, the other makes her feel valued. She doesn't want to be consumed. She wants to be understood. She wants you to ask why she's quiet when she usually isn't. She wants you to care about what makes her feel powerful, not just what makes her look good. She wants your attention to stretch deeper than skin and last longer than moments of convenience. Because when you only desire her, she becomes a mirror for your hunger. But when you see her, she becomes a mirror for your depth. And that's what opens her. That's what allows her to trust, to soften, to lean into her feminine energy without fear. She doesn't want to be pedestalized. She wants to be recognized for the thoughts she hides, the strength she carries, the wounds she's healing. Not just seen when she's smiling or dressed up, but seen in her vulnerability, her complexity, her full humanity. That's where real intimacy begins, not in the chase, but in the quiet moments where she no longer feels like she has to hide. When it comes to feminine submission, the truth is simple but often misunderstood. It cannot be taken forced or demanded. It must be earned. Through presence, through emotional safety, through self-discipline, and through the quiet strength of a man who leads himself before he tries to lead anyone else. She does not submit to noise, to pressure, or to performance. She submits to clarity, to consistency, to the kind of energy that makes her feel protected. Her submission is not weakness, it's trust in motion. And that trust is only possible when she sees a man who doesn't need to dominate her because he has already mastered himself.